Brian, welcome to the show. How are you?
I am doing great, Annie. Thank you so much for having me on here. I'm excited about this.
I'm thrilled to have you here. Now, Brian, I know we first talked not long ago, but I remember being instantly impressed by your energy, your experience, and your passion, especially for real estate. And I know that you're not only just a real estate investor yourself, but you're also a personal finance writer for publications like Inman and US News and World Report. And you're also the founder of SparkRental, where you help others get into real estate investing. We're definitely going to talk about and dive into that. So tell us about that, because I think a lot of people, myself included, when I was investing primarily in rental properties, I had no clue that there was a way to invest passively. I would have loved to do that, but I didn't even know that existed. So how did you discover that? And how did you get to a point where you were like, oh, I'm going to try this, or I'm going to grow my portfolio this way instead?
Yeah, well, I like you, I wish that I had known about passive real estate
Yeah,
investing
right? Yeah.
back in the day. Um,
Yep.
it was a little harder, I think, to invest passively in real estate syndications in the aughts. And, I mean, the sense that I've gotten, not that I was investing in it back then, but the sense that I've gotten is that it's really gotten a lot easier over the last decade to do it.
Yeah.
So the way I actually discovered passive real estate syndications was on a podcast interview like this. I was on Sam Wilson's podcast, How to Scale Commercial Real Estate. And I wanted to listen to a few episodes before appearing on his show. And, most of the people that he interviews are syndicators.
Yep.
So, I was like, this is fascinating, how people are doing this. I was like, how do I get into this? So, I started talking to Sam after our interview about how he invests, because he is a co-sponsor on some deals. So, he helps really with more of the fundraising side of things. And he was like, hey, here, I'll send you some of the deals that we're doing. We're in the middle of a deal right now. And I was like, oh, this is fascinating. I want in.
Yeah.
So, and he actually, that ended up being one of the more unique deals I've done to this day. He was doing more like outdoor recreation syndication. So it was a campground and RV park and marina in the Ozark Lakes.
Yes.
So, and it's turned out to be a great deal, by the way. It turned out to be a great syndication deal.
Good.
Yeah, I know, right? Thank God.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was my introduction to passive real estate syndications.
All right. Second question is about others' life and money. So share with us one life or money hack that has really helped you along your journey that you think will help the listener as well.
Yeah. So, it ties back to what I just said a moment ago, actually, about scoring free housing. If you can eliminate your housing payment, or at least drastically reduce it, find a way to house hack, then you can just supercharge your savings rate, and you can plow a ton of money into savings and investments, which then, of course, snowball and compound and take on a life of their own. But that money needs to come from somewhere initially, right? And I think the best place for that money to come from is your housing budget. You can take all that money you would have spent on housing and put it into investments. So there are a lot of different ways to house hack. You can look them up, of course, but multifamily house hacking is the most famous one, where you buy a duplex or triplex and move into one unit and rent out the others. You can also house hack with housemates. I did that with the first property my first home that I bought in a housemate, and she paid 3/4 of my mortgage payment. You can do it by renting out your home on Airbnb when you're not using it. So, for example, I had a cousin who, when she and her husband were just dating, they would have her apartment permanently listed on Airbnb, and anytime someone booked it, she would just go crash at his place. So, there's all kinds of stuff like that you can do. You can create an ADU, an accessory dwelling unit, and rent that out either long-term or short term on Airbnb or whatever. My co-founder, Denny, she and her husband were empty nesters, and they weren't ready to leave their big suburban house yet, but all their kids were gone. So they brought in a foreign exchange student, and the stipend from the agency covered most of their mortgage payment.
Wow.
So you can do all kinds of creative stuff to house hack.